I know the RBG guys are all about it as well. See them active on Twitter, and not in like a crap talking way, but these guys they take it seriously. They're proud of their team. They're proud of what we do. It's a little bit of a pride match here on the line, if you will, as they are looking to get that first win and show that they're not down and out here. And I think you might be on mute, Pyro. I'm not sure. I saw you talking there in the webcam. I'm just going to pick it up here, but feel free to jump in whenever you're able. Because we have Pyro on here. We wanted to hear his fantastic voice tonight. And let me give you a check here. You good? Oh, I can't hear you. Maybe chat can hear you. I don't know. Chat, if you can hear Pyro and I'm just taking crazy pills here. I see that you're here I see your webcam and everything, but I do not hear you. So maybe troubleshoot those Discord settings here for a second. But Satonics, so this is the Winter Invitational. There aren't divisions or tiers. It's just one division. Franchises and other communities submitted their best teams here and were invited into this league. And now they're out here killing it in the Winter Invitational here. We have RBG Rush and Circuitry Gaming going at it. A little technical issues here to start with our co-caster Pyro. Not sure what might have happened there, but we're going to get him back as quickly as we can because we're all hyped up for some great Rocket League and some great casting here tonight. Didn't really get to go over the lineups here, but we do see Jay, Omex, and Blood out there for Circuitry Gaming. 0-2 to start off in week 1. Definitely played some tough teams, so they're looking to bounce back a little bit here against RBG Rush, featuring Jared Ace, Gag, and Deluxe Drew. And there's Pyro. We've got him back. You haven't missed any goals or anything, but it's been a pretty nice match to start here between these two teams.
Oh man, how about that timing on the voice? Right as the game started. But yeah, we're here, we're live, we're in action, and you're right. Still no goals in a highly contested matchup. You're right. These teams are really deciding on their own fate. Still yet to show us that they have the chance to take a series off one of these big name teams in the Indie Gaming League. It's a real grudge match here. Trying to see who's going to come away with the win and even who's going to come away with the first goal here. We're almost at halfway through game 1 and still nothing on that scoreboard.
That's a decent pass to the middle, potentially starting the offense. Jay going for the touch just wide of the post there. Nifty little infield passing there between Blood and Jay. Looks like they're trying for another one. Again to the right. Omex not able to put this one on target, and it's all Blood can do to just keep this one from turning into a breakaway here. But RBG on the attack.
That's right. It's time for some RBG Rush, or is it? Circuitry Gaming now with the advantage as that ball's in a dangerous position. Back up the backboard. JCT up for the shot, but denied by Jared Ace. Deluxe Drew now here for RBG, taking his time. Now, Tina, there was one thing in the statistics that was flagged for me when I'm looking at stats for these teams. RBG Rush are averaging less than a goal per game. You imagine this is a team who likes to keep the pace slower, wait for their opponents to make mistakes and capitalize on them, but it's been few and far between that this team has found those opportunities, so we're really looking for this team to break out of their own shell and start putting some balls through the back of that net. But, trying to wait for that opportunity to come around. Jared Ace barely getting that save, and we just got a minute left to see if either one of these teams can score.
It has been a defensive grind, and that's a really interesting stat you bring up about RBG Rush averaging less than a goal a game so far. Obviously only playing one game here, or one match here in week 1, but I don't feel like we've seen them put too many shots on target yet, whereas Circuitry Gaming has had a couple of dangerous opportunities here. So definitely looking for both. Here's a shot on target. Great save by Jared Ace. Blood is up for it. This one off and away there. Just a little bit of miscues on the offensive end here for both teams as they're looking to get going. But honestly, Pyro, this is kind of what we saw in week 1 as well. These game 1s as the jitters. This is a really competitive circuit here. There's a lot on the line. That first game on stream, it's always a little nerve-wracking.
Oh, especially when you're on the big stage in indie gaming. I mean, when you got all the talent on the court, oh my goodness. I was thinking we were having overtime, no doubt, but in a flash, it almost went before our eyes. Blood Bud to the middle. No, we aren't going to have an overtime. And T-Now, by the way, keep an eye out for Blood Bud. I was taking a real keen eye to those statistics. Oh, it doesn't matter. Stats thrown out the window. RBG Rush off the overtime. The perfect stuff and the cheat by Jared Ace on the kickoff, capitalizing for the goal, the first win going RBG Rush's way.
Unbelievable finish here as we get ready to bring it to the booth after checking out these stats. 5 minutes, neither team can buy a goal, and look at that, 4 seconds. It only took 1 shot there, Pyro. 1 shot for RBG Rush, and it's the game-winning goal in OT. They take game 1 in our best-of-5 series here. A Baber, yes, this is the first series. It's a best-of-5. We've got 3 on the channel here tonight, but well, let's talk a little bit. Let's debrief a little bit here. I was commenting towards the end of that match there that Circuitry, I felt like, was getting all the offensive pressure. They had 5 shots to RBG Rush's 1, still weren't able to close it out. What do you think needs to happen here for Circuitry to convert on some of those opportunities here heading into games 2 and 3?
This was no surprise for us, honestly. Circuitry Gaming, while RBG Rush was averaging less than a goal per game, and granted, they only played 1 series, Circuitry Gaming has played 2 matches, and they're averaging over 2 goals per game. For them to be firing on all cylinders, putting shots up all game long, that's not a surprise for us. So we're looking for Circuitry Gaming to continue that pressure, but start enabling that finishing factor, being able to score on those chances and put the ball through the net. They're only going to have to do that maybe once or twice against this low-scoring team, RBG Rush. So the question is, can they put those shots through? That's what it's going to come down to for Circuitry Gaming.
Yeah, that's going to be what it matters here. And I think they had some really good opportunities. Looked like there might have just been a little confusion on whether the 2 or the 3 in the rotation was actually going for that, but we saw this setup a lot in game 1. Nobody finished it, but Omex, man, that's the exclamation mark on that one. What a beautiful play to bounce back from that OT loss.
The finishing factor, T-Now. They started with the pressure. They got an open look. All we needed was that beautiful read from Omex on the double tap. That will do it for them to kickstart this offense in game 1. And just as quickly, almost as we saw a goal happen in overtime, it's good to see Circuitry clap back with a quick response. I think we have more coming our way with a shot now from JCT. Oh man, I'm afraid that once you get Circuitry Gaming going, there's just no stopping them.
This is unbelievable, seeing them bounce back from this, and kind of what I was expecting almost when I asked you about what Circuitry Gaming might need to do to adjust here in game 2. This is sort of what I was alluding to, is just finishing these opportunities. Already putting 2 on the board. We saw them have plenty in game 1. They just couldn't get it in the back of the net, and now they've got a nice cushion here. Quick shout outs in the chat. Thank you so much, Lennox Strike, for the tier 1, becoming the grand champ of our hearts. We appreciate you. I see Tankert, the franchise owner of Mad Moose Gaming, and also a community caster in his own right, is saying, Pyro, he expects some nice words when Mad Moose Gaming plays here later tonight at 10 p.m.
Yeah, well, the nice words will come with great performance, Tank. So the expectations are matched for you, my friend, and your team at MMG. But we have our full focus on RBG Rush, and especially Circuitry Gaming, who's continuing to apply pressure against RBG Rush. Jared Ace getting up for this one, blocked by JCT. The back pass from Blood to Omex. He read a double touch earlier in the game, but could not read that one. But will that stop Circuitry Gaming? No, of course not. They're meeting these clears from RBG Rush again and again, and it's just making it so tough for RBG Rush to find a way out of their half. But T now, they might have a chance here.
Good long ball down the field does open up a little bit of space for RBG Rush. Jared Ace, though, stuffed right back the other way. Now Blood is tracking it. Just controlling that midfield is this orange team, is Circuitry Gaming. They are really making it difficult for RBG Rush to get into any sort of offense right now. And they're looking fantastic out there in game number 2. Lennox says their team is 2-0 in their first season ever. That's absolutely amazing. Congratulations on a quick start here to your season. One of these teams looking to get their first win tonight as Deluxe Drew pop off the top. The hero from game 1 puts in another goal in the series, cutting that deficit to 1.
Boy, did this team need that shot. Things were looking bleak here for RBG Rush, finding almost no opportunities. And what did it take? It took a double commit from Circuitry Gaming. This is what we talked about with this RBG Rush team. They may be low scoring, but that's because they're disciplined. They're consistent. They'll hold on as long as they can and just wait for that mistake, that miscue on their opponent's team and capitalize on it. And so they've done that here. The question is, can they fend off Circuitry Gaming against more goals here and start to capitalize on their own efforts? Jared Ace here with an attempted shot. That was right off the post, followed up by Deluxe, but set away again. The pressure continues, though. Deluxe drew up for another shot, but that is cleared and denied by Omex. So now the pressure finding its way over to the orange half for once, T now.
It is, and that's the kind of pressure we're going to need to see from RBG Rush if they want to tie this up in the final minute and a half of game number 2. Great goal line defense from Circuitry Gaming on that onslaught, not allowing the blue team to get back into this match. And we're closing down to the final 60 seconds. Deluxe Drew trying to work this one back towards the middle. Jared to Geg. A little bit of a double commit on the defensive end. Deluxe Drew puts a shot towards net just off the post. Jared Ace not able to put any power on that. Nearly a second goal there for RBG Rush. Couldn't quite close it out, but they are not relenting anytime soon here.
No, they are knocking on that door. And look at that. Even if it's a back pass from Gig to Jared Ace there. And, a potential double touch. No, it just gets away from Jared Ace. But you love to see these opportunities come through for RBG Rush. This was a team with not only not that many goals, but also not that many shots per game as well. We're seeing something very different come out with this team. And, it might have taken a while for them to get out of their comfort zone and start applying the pressure, but they're finally doing it. Unfortunately for them, they only have 15 seconds to put a goal through. Now we're at 10. Deluxe Drew coming around with this ball, hoping to get a good pass out for his team. Gag is up for this one, but so is Blood Bud. He'll send it away and deny another shot. This ball's got to stay up for RBG, but it's taken down. Circuitry Gaming with that first couple of goals on the onset of this game 2. They will be awarded their game 2 victory, putting the series at 1-1.
Great play from Circuitry Gaming, bouncing back. Blood Bud with a huge clear there at the end. RBG was really getting comfortable setting up their offense on the orange end. But man, that defense, look at those 5 saves for Circuitry Gaming coming back to the studio here after checking out those stats. What a match. I mean, what a match we're seeing here. Both these teams chasing after that first win, really playing fantastic here. All-around team efforts on both sides. I mean, you look at the score here, 360, 331, 320 for Circuitry, 283, 281, 224 for RBG. There's a little space here, Pyro, for somebody to kind of pop off and really take control of this series because everybody playing at a pretty steady pace so far.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned popping off, because another thing I was really looking at with the statistics was Blood Bud. He was that one player that stuck out like a sore thumb with this Circuitry Gaming team. I'm waiting for this player to put some crazy shots through. He was the one player that didn't have any goals there for Circuitry Gaming at the beginning of that one, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he's saving up all his potential for these later games of the series. So who knows? Maybe that's what we'll see here, or maybe we'll see the answer from RBG Rush. Only time will tell as we have game 3 kicking off here. It's underway as Gag taking us up the field with a flick. Jared Ace with a dunk, and that's gonna be in! That is what we were looking for RBG Rush. Jared Ace, great dunk, top bins.
What a tackle there by Jared. Beautiful play. I feel like more than any best of 5 series I've ever seen, this one feels like one long, continuous game. Like in game 1, Circuitry was just nonstop pressure. They had a ton of momentum. They lost in 4 seconds in overtime. What did they do? Immediately just came back and put 2 goals on the board, as we nearly see them get one there, but immediately came back in the next game, instantly put 2 goals on the board. This one, RBG, insane pressure, end of game 2, lose it. What do? Immediately come into game 3 and just maintain that pressure and put a goal up. It's like they're playing one game here. I'm hoping that they can drag this out to a game 5 here.
Yeah, wouldn't we love to see that? It is interesting because it's happening in waves and it's happening in fireworks as well. Gag, did you have to do him like that? Look at the car control, the ball control. He's pushing this forward past every defender. The best they can do is just sit there and look up like they're watching a fireworks show. And the explosion happens with the score of Gag. Absolutely phenomenal. RBG Rush. Like I said, T, now it's happening in waves. And I think it's partly due to their confidence levels. Once you start firing shots like this, you're getting really excited and feeling better about your decision making. You're acting quicker, you're turning quicker, you're up for the ball quicker, you make those more risky plays. And for RBG Rush, this is what they needed. They needed to increase their pace to get more opportunities. And they also need to hold things down on their end as well. That one going in for Circuitry Gaming.
Great play by Jay. The defensive clear, not able to be held onto. A little bit of a loss of possession up near the C lane, which normally, maybe you'd think that's kind of an okay place to lose control, but Jay, way up there, knocks one in, bringing it down to 1. A bit of a mirror of what we saw in game 2, except the scores are flipped with RBG starting off with that quick 2-0 lead. Jared putting a little bit of good pressure on the defense here. We are seeing some double commits out of Circuitry while they're under pressure here, so I think RBG kind of knocked them off their comfort zone here in this game 3 as they've been getting a lot more pressure going.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that's going to be the bread and butter for RBG Rush, is increasing the pace as they've done, which is going to increase the chances of Circuitry Gaming making these double commits, these mistakes defensively, dismantling them and finding those opportunities that they need. They've got that 1-goal lead, but there's a ton of time on the clock for Circuitry Gaming to find an equalizer. But they're going to need to break it out of their own half if they're going to do that. Right now, they're facing a couple shots. Bloodbud picks up that save. Jared right to Gag on target. Bloodbud, another save. But is a shot? No! Bloodbud defends it again. A beast on the back line, but can he defend it a 3rd time? No. Jared Ace credited with the goal. And Tina, there's just no defense left here for Circuitry Gaming after that.
I got to give a lot of credit to both teams on that sequence. Unbelievable tenacity shown on both the offensive and the defensive end. But the defense cracks first. What a pressure play from RBG Rush there. We are seeing them really exert their will a little bit more here as they've gotten comfortable on the offensive end. But we do still have about 2 minutes left to play. Circuitry on the attack. They had a lot of good pressure in games 1 and 2, but since they've been on the back foot here a little bit, haven't really been able to get into much of a rhythm. We'll see if Bloodbud can do something to change that, as it's a good pinch up the field here, dropping across. Jared Ace into the corner. Maybe a shot opportunity. Bloodbud going for the double touch. Tries to get it down, but what a save by Gag.
And that's what you're going to see in these top-tier matchups is, save here by Omex. But even if those incredible double touch shots come through, this is just, clockwork for these teams. The defenders, they see it coming as well. They know how to defend these shots. You're going to have to get even more creative with that if you want to see success for your team in the IGL Winter Invitational. As we know, best of the best on the field here. With just a minute left here in Game 3 between these two teams that are tied 1-1 in the series. More pressure coming out for Circuitry Gaming. They're trying to bring this ball down into the box. Bloodbud ready to take the shot, but the angle's too obtuse, and he can't put that one in either. Ball kind of straggled around the goal line, but Bloodbud not quick enough to put it through, and not quick enough to save this top corner banger. Tina, how did it even get there?
What an unbelievable shot from Geg. I mean, literally the one spot he could put it that the defender couldn't get to. I think that's the dagger here in game number 3. Unbelievable shot. Even getting the nice shot from the defender there in the quick chat. And I don't think it was a sarcastic one either there, Pyro. I mean, that was a nice shot on that one. And it looks like RBG going to be walking into game number 3 with a 2-1 lead. Or game number 4 with a 2-1 lead.
Right. It is looking to be that way, almost certainly. And you know what? That's what this series is becoming to be, the story behind it. It is the uprising of RBG Rush. A team that has been struggling to even find the back of the net is now becoming one of the most explosive teams that I've seen in this invitational. And you can attest to this, T. Now, you've seen me in chat in these Winter Invitational matches last week. I've been watching these teams, and the mechanical ability, the mastery in the aerials and the ball control that we're seeing out of Gag and Jared Ace for RBG Rush. I mean, if I'm Circuitry Gaming, I'm scared. This team is finally breaking out into the team that I think they've always imagined themselves to be, and it's great to watch.
It is great to watch. They're really coming into their own here. With 12 shots. I see Fluffy Geezer in the chat saying so many shots on goal, 12 of them for RBG Rush, which is just an insane amount of pressure there. I mean, on the flip side for Circuitry, it wasn't all bad, right? I mean, they had 6 shots on net. They had 6 saves. Those are pretty good stats, but man, if you're not able to get a couple goals to fall and somebody's putting 12 shots on your net, it's going to be extremely difficult to keep up with them. So match point to Circuitry Gaming. Can they force this game number 5? We've got 5 minutes on the board, and time will tell where this series ends up.
Will indeed, T now. And, we stay unbiased as casters, but the one thing that we typically are biased towards is a good old game 5. So, somewhere in our casters' hearts, we're kind of rooting for the game 5. But either way, we're just here for good Rocket League. And, if RBG Rush, if they can continue the momentum that we've seen them kind of work up in these last 2 games, especially in game 3 with the innumerable amount of shots that they put on, they have the right to see success in this game. That's a good shot there from Deluxe Drew. It is defended well by Omex, who puts it the other way. Now we're seeing all 3 Circuitry Gaming players in their own corner trying to get a piece of that ball. Gag's going to redirect that towards the net. Put out into the middle, but I do not think RBG Rush is ready for that shot. No, Omex here with the breakaway. Can he put it through? He's dunking it. It's in front of the net. Bloodbud. Shot is saved by Deluxe Drew. Almost a good breakaway there for Circuitry Gaming, but now they're going to need a little bit more to put something on the board.
Yeah, gonna need just a little bit more, but I do like what they're going for. Circuitry definitely being intentional about their offensive possessions, looking for those passes, looking for the open man, not just lobbing the ball down the field and kind of waiting for the blue team to make a mistake here. And I think the key was to start generating a little bit more pressure here for Circuitry, and so far they are doing that because they really were having a hard time getting it off their half with everything that RBG was doing in the previous game. And looks like they, got together as a team, made some adjustments here coming into Game 4. And that's what the best of the best do. That's why they're playing here in the Winter Invitational. But they get away with one there as Geg just off the crossbar. The squishy save coming in. Wouldn't have saved it, though. But we still have zeros, so no harm, no foul there.
That's right. Yeah, with this RBG Rush offense, then Omek's going to save that. And looks like that'll de-escalate the play there for a bit. Don't think the RBG rotation is ready for that clear. We just haven't seen Circuitry Gaming start to pop up since the beginning of Game 2. But it looks like midway through Game 4, they're starting to put it together.
They really are. And look at that beautiful touch there from Bloodbud. I mentioned just a little bit ago, Circuitry Gaming very intentional about their touches and looking for it on the open net. Oh, but I don't even have time to compliment Circuitry Gaming in that brilliant passing play because we see another kickoff goal for RBG Rush. Deluxe Drew with just a huge stuff up the field. Jared Ace ties us up at 1. That was still a great play, though, Circuitry Gaming. Well, I'm sure we'll see that clip at some point in the future, but we're living in the present right now, and the present calls for RBG tying this one up.
Does indeed. Quite a pinch there for Circuitry, but it's met by a play that we actually saw exactly in Game 1. Deluxe Drew knows how to stuff that ball in the middle, and Jared Ace was that player again this time to cheat heavily on the kickoff, be ready for a play like that, and put it in. Those are the plays that are complete difference makers. Honestly, in each of these games, it can turn the tides in a snap of a finger just like that. The quick response before your opponents have any chance to work up some momentum. We're back to tied up with under 2 minutes remaining, and RBG Rush have put themselves back in the position here to potentially take match point. They're even working their way up the field, but that's going to be a great clear by JCT. Trying to match his ball in the corner, but he's kind of stuffed himself, put himself in an awkward position as Gag moves up the field. This is dangerous. He puts it off the backboard. Jared Ace goes up for it. Can't do any damage as Omex mixed up. Oh, can't bump the defender. That's going to put it in. Omex, lots of options here, but he just goes for the flick, and it was enough to put him ahead. The go-ahead goal here. 2-1 Circuitry.
Great play by Omex, the captain for Circuitry, coming in strong to re-seize that lead. Geg looking off the backboard, though. It's a good clear away by JC, making sure that they hold on to this lead. Just need to do it for about a minute. Jared's trying to start this counterattack, though. Pretty smooth flying there for a second. They kind of lost control of it. And now, once again, the orange team lobs it back down here. Circuitry doesn't necessarily need to score, but they do obviously need to hang on here. Maybe they will score just off the crossbar. Deluxe Drew knocking that one away. But if you're Circuitry, you definitely kind of want to turtle up a little bit, right? Kind of get into that shell. Make sure that you're protecting your goal at all costs here. Don't necessarily need to score anymore. Just have 30 seconds to hold on.
Yeah, there's the thought that you want to shell up, but there's also the consideration that them increasing the pace, their own pace after Game 1 is what has brought them success, at least for RBG Rush. So they need to quicken it immediately, and it looks like they pulled the goalie to try and do that. It just didn't work out for them, so... Yeah, you're right, Tina. I think Circuitry, they shelled up and were ready for the attack if it came up to them. And there it was, 3-1 Circuitry. We're looking pretty convincing here for a Game 5.
Yeah, the three-man team play on that one as Blood intercepts the pass. JC gets that demo to clear the way for the goal there. And Omex knocked that one on target. Ball still up in the air here. Jay not able to get one more touch, and Circuitry sends us to a Game 5 here. In our first series of the night, couldn't have asked for a better result.
Hey, we're happy to see it, like I said, but what's even more interesting to see is the response here from Circuitry. I mean, Game 2, They started out with 2 goals, and then they haven't scored at all the rest of the game. They scored 1 in game 3. That was it. So they were pretty dry coming into game 4. I was worried about their chances of bringing this to a game 5, but that resurgence, that adaptability here in game 4 for them to come back, crawl their way back into this series and give us a game 5. I'm excited to see what they got here to finish the series out for us, Tino.
I'm really excited as well. It seems like it's going to be offensive versus defensive battle. Circuitry's been locking it down on the goal line. 6 saves in the previous game, 4 saves in this one. They get the win in this one. They lose the previous one. On the flip side, RBG Rush. 7 shots in this game, 12 shots in the previous one. They win the previous one, they lose this one. So volume, the name of the game for these teams. They've got tons of saves on the side of Circuitry. They've got tons of shots on the side of RBG Rush. Which one's going to win out here? Game 5, going to be the ultimate determining factor. As one of these teams, one of these franchises, going to be walking away with their first victory of the Winter Invitational, feeling pretty happy. The other team, well, they fought hard, and they're going to be able to bounce back on Thursday, potentially.
Right. The other team going back into maybe some replay analysis, especially if you're Circuitry. No team wants to, or no franchise wants to start off this big Winter Invitational with 3 losses to their name, of course. That's not what you expect, but some teams do end up in that position. But the question is, especially in the Indie Gaming League, when these circuits, these seasons, they last a while, they give you ample time to look at what you've done throughout the circuit and try to respond to it appropriately and make those adjustments that you need to make. So, big series here to see which team is going to find their first win in the Invitational. It all comes down to this here with Gag trying to get something together for his team. He's going to have Deluxe Drew come in here with a shot that's a bit high. Good look for him. Great power, just the precision on the shot wasn't on target. They still got a chance here as Jared Ace with nothing in the tank, trying to make something out of it. Deluxe Drew now to Gag, but that one is going to put things into place here for Circuitry.
Saw them going for the passing play there, not quite able to connect. Deluxe Drew coming in, does have a shot opportunity. Omex able to use that crossbar to keep it out of harm's way. Nicely done. I mean, what else do you expect from Circuitry, though? We talked about how well their defense has been playing most of this series. We see them put another save in the stat book there. This one, again, stuffed on the goal line as Jared Ace trying to power their way through. RBG keeping that pressure. A couple passing options, not quite on target, though. The pass just a little off, the shot a little off as well. Circuitry desperately trying to get it off of their half. But the good news for them is they are keeping this at 0-0 for the time being. And Omex almost gets it to midfield. But man, like clockwork, RBG Rush right back at it. Just popping this one constantly over the top.
Yeah, on one end, I want to applaud Circuitry for the steel curtain that they're putting up. I mean, they've been suffering shot after shot, but staying resilient. And finally, they're going to get a break here. And a breakthrough as Omex putting him in field. I don't think he's got a teammate. Now that's tough to see, T, now for Circuitry Gaming. After so much time spent in their half, they've got 2 defenders going all the way back to fuel up. That's part of that replay analysis that I'm talking about. If you want to spend time away from your half, you've got to commit at least 2 players to the push and not have everyone go all the way back on defense, because look where they're caught now again. 2 minutes remaining, and they're facing shots again. Jared Ace back out to the mid. Gag's got to put it out into the corner. Deluxe Drew filling in here, hopefully getting something to Gag for RBG Rush's sake, but not the case. Jared Ace here with the dunk. You imagine he's still following up on the ball. He is. Flick towards the net. That's up the post. Can Gag finish it? No! The shot is high. Will Circuitry be able to break away with this? Is that going to fall in? Oh, it's off the corner. And it's another breakaway. Can Jared put it in? Oh, it's towards the save. T-now. What is happening?
What in the world are we witnessing here? Shot after shot just deflecting off of cars, posts, crossbars. Nobody can find the back of the net here in game number 5. So many close calls. Not one to seal the deal yet. Final 60 seconds. Circuitry on the attack a little bit, but Deluxe Drew immediately kicks it back the other way. This one going to be just wide, but Geg puts it off into the corner to keep it safe anyway. Man, what a crazy turn of events we are seeing here in this game 5. You know, one thing you can say about everything going on here is that you can tell both these teams, they want this victory and they want this real bad.
Oh, you can see it. You can feel it in the air. The want, the need for both of these teams to find a win here in game 5. I'm afraid, T, now that this could go into overtime, and we're going to see that immediate goal like we did see in game 1. If it does go there, Circuitry Gaming, they've got to keep a keen eye out. Oh, maybe for this play here. And did they put it off the post? They did, and saved it again. Circuitry, how? How are you keeping this ball out of your own net? Okay, another chance. Is that it?
No!
Oh my goodness! Oh man! I thought we were going to overtime, T. Now put it in.
Unbelievable! Omex gets the 0-second goal. Just the pressure. RBG rush unable to clear it. And a thrilling finish in a scoreless game. Omex, the captain, we talked about popping off earlier in the stream, Pyro. 589 points there in game 5 with 5 saves. What a crazy finish here. I'm speechless. I'm kicking it back to the studio here to debrief on the craziness that we just witnessed between these two teams.
I'm just trying to keep my composure right now, T. Now, I mean, we realized that Circuitry were somehow keeping the ball out of their net for that long. The defensive caliber of this team is something to be awe-inspired by. What we didn't realize was it was all Omex. Someone call in a chiropractor. This man's back is broken. He carried his team to victory here. The captain does it himself. He even puts in that 0-second goal. Ridiculous. Circuitry Gaming. Now, fill in words for me. I just can't.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to Omex there in that game 5. 5 saves, 1 goal, the 0-second series finisher. Unbelievable. I couldn't have said it any better here than Fluffy Geezer says it in the chat. They just refused to lose. Circuitry Gaming refused to lose. They kept fighting. They kept coming back. It did kind of feel like, from a momentum perspective, RBG held onto it most of that series. I mean, they were getting shot after shot after shot. I would love to know what their shot total was for that series, because in games 3 and 4, they're combined with 19 shots. I can't remember how many they had in game 5, but I mean, that is a massive amount of shots to be standing against if you're that orange defense. I mean, look at the rest of the chat too. Everybody's hyping it up. Unbelievable finish. I imagine we'll be seeing that clip at a later point in time here.